Good morning, students. In previous classes, we discussed about optics and how the light is playing in our life, and what are the lenses we are using in our daily life, and what are the two kinds of the lens. Important two lenses are concave and convex that we discussed. Then naturally we are having convex lens in our eye. It is given by God. Then eye defects are discussed, how to correct that, also discussed. After that, we enter into the last topic, microscope, almost last topic. In that microscope, two types of the microscopes were discussed in previous classes. One is simple and next one is compound microscope. What are the construction, working and use, how we can use, everything was discussed in last class. So third type of microscope is traveling microscope. And so usually microscope means this device which is used to magnify the small things like virus, bacteria and small we can see the flower pots. The small minute particles can be seen as zoomed one, and we compared the two. And today we'll start with traveling microscope. It is the best instrument which is giving more accuracy in the order of 0.01 millimeter, and it is principle is vernier. So how it's working, the traveling microscope is working the principle of vernier, and it can give the least count value of 0.01 millimeter. So what is the least count? We discussed this one last year itself. Least count means the minimum value we can measure in the given instrument. In the given instrument, what is the minimum value we can measure, that is called as least count. This one we studied last year itself. So this traveling microscope is giving the least count value of 0.01 mm. Mm is millimeter is very small. In that we are taking as 0.01 mm. So about traveling microscope only this one is given. In 11th, some chances are there to handle this traveling microscope. Okay. Next topic is telescope. So till here in this microscope, smaller one will be magnified into huge, bigger one. In microscope we did like that. Now in this telescope is used to see the distant object. For example, moon is there, some stars, and also evening. Last year I told you evening we can see every day we can see the Mars planet. No, sorry, Venus. Yes, west side. Last year we discussed about this. We can see that stars and some celestial bodies in distant object. To see that closer and to magnify that, we can't go near to that. There we are using the telescope. Okay, and this telescope maximum we are using during the lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. It gives the clear image of the celestial bodies as closer one. This is possible with the help of telescope. So without telescope, we can't see the distant object. Okay, so we can see, but it is not a clear one. That clear image we can obtain with the help of telescope. And now we'll see the story of telescope. The first telescope was invented by Johann Lippershey in the era of 1608 in 16th century, and Galileo made the telescope easier, how to see the stars very easily. That was made by scientist Galileo, and he get more ideas, and he used to see the distant weather cock appeared magnified, then lens system fitted in his shop. The weather cock is more magnified, so he started. It is easier to see the distant object as magnified, and he used to see Jupiter, and he found the rings around the Saturn with the help of telescope. And Kepler invented telescope in 1611. So already telescope was invented, that is in 1608. That one modified by the scientist Galileo, and using that he checked, he saw the stars and planets, and he gave more ideas about the distant stars and planets. And then types of telescope, how many types of telescopes are there? Based on that, there are two kinds of telescopes. One is refracting, other is a reflecting telescope. So refracting telescope, the light ray will be enter into the lens and will make a refraction. So about the reflection we studied the earlier class, and in this unit also we discussed. Examples for refracting telescopes are Galilean telescope, Keplerian, and achromatic refractors, and some refracting telescopes. In reflecting, here we are using the mirrors to reflect the light rays. Example, Gregorian, Newtonian, Cassegrain telescopes are some example for reflecting telescopes. And according to the things, astronomical, and this reflecting telescope, we are using mirrors. Examples are discussed. And according to the things, majoritically we are using astronomical and terrestrial. And astronomical telescopes, it is used to see the heavenly bodies like stars, planets, and is used to see the clear things about galaxies, and satellites can be seen through the astronomical telescope. And next type is terrestrial telescope. In this terrestrial telescope, it is just like a astronomical, but only the difference is this terrestrial telescope will give the erect or straight image. In astronomical, it is not possible. In the astronomical, we are getting only the inverted image, but this terrestrial will give the straight or erect image, so it is easy to observe and easy to do some research work with that heavenly bodies. So only the difference is it gives erect as compared to the astronomical unit. And here some advantages are given. So first advantage is the view of the galaxies are very clear, and it is magnified many number of times as we are seeing through our eyes. So we can see that very easily. And camera can be attached for taking photographs. If we require, the celestial objects can be taken as photograph with the help of cameras. And it is used to see the distant object even when the light is in with a low intensity. These are all the main advantages of these telescopes. And some disadvantages also there. Here we have to maintain that often. The next one is it is not easily to carry from one point to another place. So we can say it is not easily portable. These are the disadvantages of these telescopes. And mark some question answer about traveling microscope. You mark from here to here. It is about traveling microscope. It may be asked in 2-mark question. Then types of telescope. So you can mark from here and up to here as a 7-mark question. And in this itself may be asked for 2-mark what are the types of telescopes, refracting and reflecting like that, and define astronomical telescope, or write about terrestrial telescope like that, means it is maybe 2-mark. If fully they're asking, means that is for 7-mark question. And next is advantages and disadvantages of telescope, and that you can mark from here to up to portable one. This is 4-mark answer and important one. And let me discuss about problems in this unit, solved problems. So first problem, light rays travel from vacuum into glass whose refractive index is 1.5. Refractive index will be taken as mu. If the angle of incidence is 30 degree, calculate the angle of refraction inside the glass. This is the question. Then here we are going to use the Snell's law. As per Snell's law, sin I divided by sin r is equal to mu 2 divided by mu 1 cross multiplication. Mu 1 sin I is equal to mu 2 sin r. Then we are substituting mu 1 is given, that is 1.0. This is for glass, and mu 2 it is 1.5. I is equal to 30 degree. Then we are substituting here 1 sin 30 degree 1.5 sin r. After substitution we are using the cross multiplication. We are substituting the 30 degree, that is sin 30 will become 1 by 2. Then we are getting sin r is equal to sin inverse of 0.333. Then when we are using logarithmic book, we are getting the reverse method 19.45 degree. This one we'll discuss in class. Next, problem number 2. A beam of light passing through diverging lens, a focal length of 0.3 meter appear to be focused at a distance of 0.2 meter behind the lens. Find the position of the object. So here position of the object we are going to find. F is given and V is given. This is diverging lens. Diverging means that is concave. Then we can take that value as the negative. Formula 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. We need to find 1 by U. Then you bring that 1 by U one side and other terms in another one side. Then using the cross multiplication we are getting the answer for U is minus 0.6 meter. Just to work out. If you have any doubt, we will discuss in WhatsApp group. Then problem 3. A person with myopia can see objects placed at a distance of 4 meter and he wants to see the objects at a distance of 20 meter. What should be the focal length and power of the concave lens he must wear? This is question. So what are the things are given? The distance is given. That can be taken as 4 meter. And y is given, that is object distance. Object distance is x, and image distance will be taken as y, 20 centimeter. Then focal length of the corrected for correction of the lens is f is equal to xy divided by x minus y. This is discussed in theoretical part. We are substituting. Answer will become minus 5 meter after solving this. Then power of the corrected lens, we can write the formula P is equal to 1 by f, reciprocal of the focal length. So what is the focal length we got? 5. So minus 1 by 5, that is equal to minus 0.2 diopter. This is the answer for third problem. Then fourth one, for a person with a hypermetropia, the near point has moved to 1.5 meter. They're asking to find out the focal length of the correction lens in order to make his eyes normal. So we have to find out the focal length. So what are the given terms? We have to write here. So D is equal to, have to find out the focal length of correction lens. So what are the things are given? D is given 1.5 meter. It's a hypermetropia, no? Hypermetropia is long-sightedness. And the least distance we required, we know that for normal eye 25 centimeter, that is converted into meter, 0.25 meter. And this is for normal eye. And from the derived equation, from the theory part, the focal length of the corrected lens is f is equal to dd divided by d minus d. So small d and capital D both are given. Capital D we should know. We have to write that. And we are multiplying that. Both are in centimeter. Then we are solving. So we know how to multiply and subtract. After subtract, you have to divide the two values. You check it, this one. If you have any doubt, we'll discuss in WhatsApp group. Okay, and so this is the last sum in this unit. And for today's homework, you write types of telescope fully, that's 7 mark question. Then 4 mark question, advantages of telescopes and disadvantages of telescope. So these two questions you have to write in your classwork. I hope you are writing in classwork which you are get from school. ஸ்கூல்லேருந்து ஹோம்ஒர்க்லாம் நிறைய கிளாஸ் ஒர்க் நோட்ஸ்லாம் வாங்கியிருப்பீங்க. அந்த கிளாஸ் ஒர்க் நோட்டில் ஹோம்ஒர்க் பார்ட் ரிவர்ஸ் எழுத ஆரம்பிச்சிருங்க. ஓகே, அண்ட் ஹியர் திஸ் யூனிட் இஸ் ஓவர். நெக்ஸ்ட் இந்த யூனிட்டுக்கு எல்லா யூனிட்ஸ்க்குமே நீங்கள் நோட்ஸ் வாங்கியாச்சு, நோட் புக்ஸ் வாங்கிட்டீங்க. ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட் யூனிட் நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிட்டோம். இந்த யூனிட்டுக்கு யூனிட் நம்பர் 2க்கு 7th ரோமன் லெட்டரில் டீட்டெயில் கொஷின்ஸ் இருக்குது, 4 கொஷின்ஸ் இருக்குது. இந்த 4 கொஷின்ஸை கிளாஸ் ஒர்க் நோட்டில் காப்பி பண்ணிடுங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ ஆன்சர்ஸ்லாம் நாங்கள் நோட்ஸாக கொடுத்துருக்கோம். தென் ஃபஸ்ட் யூனிட்டில் ஆன்சர் இன் டீட்டெயில் 8th ரோமன் லெட்டரில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு 4 கொஷின்ஸ் மட்டும் காப்பி பண்ணுங்கள். ஓகே, டோட்டலாக 7 கொஷின்ஸ் ஆர் தேர். டோன்ட் வாண்ட் ஆல் த 7. ஃபஸ்ட்டு 4 கொஷின்ஸ் மட்டும் ஃபஸ்ட் யூனிட்டில் டீட்டெயில். செகண்ட் யூனிட்டில் ஆல் 4 டீட்டெயில்ஸ் 7th ரோமன் லெட்டராக கொடுத்துருக்கான். இந்த ரெண்டையுமே உங்கள் கிளாஸ் ஒர்க் நோட்டில் ஃபஸ்ட் யூனிட் எழுதிட்டு தென் செகண்ட் யூனிட் எழுதிக்கிங்க. ஸோ இப்போது கம்மிங் வீக் ஒரு 1 வீக் டைம் எடுத்துக்கங்க. ஆஃப்டர் 1 வீக் யூ சப்மிட் திஸ். ஏன்னா கிளாஸ் ஒர்க் நோட் இப்போ தான் உங்கள் கையில் கிடச்சிருக்கு. நெக்ஸ்ட் வீக் நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்லேருந்து ப்ராப்பராக நம்ம ஒவ்வொரு யூனிட்டுக்கும் ஃபாலோ பண்ணிடுவோம். ஸோ இந்த 2 மட்டும் ஒரு 1 வீக் எடுத்து முடித்து சப்மிட் பண்ணிடுங்க. வாட்ஸ்அப்பில் ஃபோட்டோவாக எடுத்து எனக்கு சென்ட் பண்ணிடுங்க. ஓகே, அண்ட் next unit is thermal physics, and this thermal physics will give more knowledge about heat and temperature and how it is more useful in our life and where we are using and what are the application in our day-to-day life. இதில் எப்படியெல்லாம் நம்ம மாற்றிக்கலாம், இந்த தேர்மில் வச்சு நம்ம எப்படியெல்லாம் நம்ம லைஃபுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி நம்ம இதை அடாப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் we are going to discuss in next class. It's a more interesting topic. So first units எப்படி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்காக இருக்கோ அதை விட இது நல்லா இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்காக இருக்கும். And many concepts will be discussed. So about thermal physics we'll see in next class. Okay, thank you students.